always been a trusted player in India, coming with the legacy of the Aditya Birla Group. Customers trust us as future metal and material suppliers. If you talk to people who is the most trusted integrated player in aluminium, copper, alumina, Hindalco comes to mind all the time. But what we have done over the last 4-5 years or so, innovation has always powered us as an organization. We are taking a step forward now. And this brand relaunch or the new identity which we are wanting to talk to the world about is a marker to tell our customers and the wider ecosystem that Hindalco is going to be far more proactive now in creating sustainable and performance-oriented solutions and co-creating it with our customers. Okay, but what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through the value chain of aluminium and copper, so you know what is the innovation happening in each of these segments here. Yeah, so let's start here with mining. We are one of the biggest miners in India, and what I'm really proud about is that Hindalco was one of the first companies to have a mining charter. What does a mining charter mean? Which is that we are not just taking from the earth, but we are ensuring that we replenish and have a sustainable approach to mining. So it is about how we mine based on CO2 emissions that we are creating, how do we ensure that mine remediation happens at the end of mining, how do we manage our water, how do we ensure that the communities which are developed around it are also taken care of. So it's not just about mining, but how we develop communities. So there's a lot of effort we put in developing the communities around us. Education, we have Kosala, for example, is an initiative where we're taking the local craftsmen and helping them market their goods as well. So it's a holistic approach to mining rather than just let's extract. And I think that's one of the reasons when we look at new mines as well, people really trust us with the natural resource like what we have here. Okay, so this is about the mining area here. If you have time later on, I would really urge you to look at the VR version of some of the practices. In fact, when we return a mine, often it is even more green and sustainable than what you're starting with. Okay, so once we extract here materials, then we come to smelting, and we are one of the best smelters in India. They are before smelting, of course, there is refining. So the Utkal refinery is one of the best in the world, both in terms of quality as well as in terms of the size and cost and efficiency is one of the best in the world. Okay, then we come to smelting, which is of course a power consuming exercise, but we are gradually moving towards more green solutions. So right now a lot of our smelters are powered by thermal power, but we are increasingly looking at renewable power to be the replacement for the new capacities that we are adding. Okay, so that's about the refineries. You want to quickly talk about the alumina in 5 bites?
Sure, thank you. So this zone, like Nilesh said, is about powering India's manufacturing dream. So aluminium, cement, steel, you name it, there's an unsung hero behind it, and that's refractories. Why are refractories important? So you see, this is a cross section of a blast furnace here. You see the lining, and at every level there's huge amount of heat involved. Now to manage this level of heat, we have refractories which are used in the linings. So where does Hindalco come in? Hindalco's precisely engineered alumina solutions is what helps these refractories become durable. The most interesting part is it has an extremely high melting point. So melting point north of 1600 degrees Celsius. We're extremely proud that every ton of steel, cement and aluminium produced in India has the mark of Hindalco Specialty Alumina Solutions. Like I mentioned, there's also the, right there we have the cement rotary kiln, which again has refractory, which uses our alumina in their cement bricks. And right here is something which is very close to our heart as Hindalco.
So, welcome to this is our record zone. So, in the aluminum industry, our this process starts from mining. So, our raw material bauxite. So, while extraction of aluminium, we follow our refinery and then smelting process. So, 1 ton of alumina requires 65 to 70% of our byproduct or waste. So, when throughout the world people are searching for the solution of this byproduct, so we feel very proud to say here that Hindalco is the world's worldwide #1 and first company which has given this solution. So our red mud byproduct now it is used in cement industry as a raw material, and while in refractory also they are using petcoke as a fuel, so there is a high sulfur. So that sulfur is also neutralized by the contamination which is in our red mud. And apart from this, we are also started using this red mud in our road applications as well as this paver blocks. So this is basically kind of we are utilizing a resource. So we have converted a waste into a raw material, and we are every year we are preserving millions of tons of natural resources. So that's
So this is a brilliant story of waste to wealth. So we are doing pavers. We are also experimenting with doing road sub bases with the same material, which actually gives strength to the roads as well. So hopefully we should be extending more applications. As I said, paver block is one of them, and refractories is another one of them. And in the cement industry, we are making even the cement industry more sustainable, because now they don't need to add that much CO2 generating material as they would have had to do otherwise. Okay, thank you so much. We're doing a speed run here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, so hello everyone. So you moved through green path to metal works. Now we're in power station. So here we're basically showcasing our Hindalco's innovation in the power industry. So what do you mean the power industry? We have renewables and non-renewables. We are into renewables. We're also into non-renewables. If you see the renewable energies, we have solar energy, we have wind energy. Hindalco is big into this. If you see, this is the solar panel. Hindalco has all kinds of products which goes into this application. We have alumina that goes into solar glass. We have the metal that goes into this kind of panel. We'll explain it later on. And coming to the wind energy, we manufacture alumina powder which goes into such niche applications which is used in wind energy. And we also supply to insulator industries who manufacture insulators, and they are used in carrying the power. Big story is here that if you see in 2000s, 60% of India's population had access to electricity. But in 2024, as we speak about, more than 95% of India's population had access to electricity. So what has propelled this? Insulator is a safe way of carrying this electricity. But what is behind that? It is Hindalco's alumina product. We innovated, we co-created our product. We created a grade called calcined alumina, which is a fine grade of calcined alumina, which is supplied to our insulator industries, and then they could supply to the industry, the power industry, to the world. So that is how Hindalco is big in the renewables as well as the non-renewable energy.
Thank you so much. So we are doing a faster run this time. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this quickly. So solar is not new to you guys. Solar is growing extremely well in India. Hindalco has applications both in the module frames, as we are talking about, copper ribbons to improve efficiency, and the mounting systems. Now, why is mounting systems important? Because often the panel lasts, but the mounting system, if it's made in steel, etc., rusts very quickly. So we have designed a unique alloy for this application, which ensures that the life of the panel sustains over a period of time. This is actually made in one of our plants in Kuppam, where we don't just manufacture it, but we design it as well. Okay, sorry, we are going to do a speed run. Now, the highest consumption of aluminium and copper in India is in the power sector. Roughly 30% of India's aluminium actually goes into the power sector. So you have a lot of power cables that we are developing. So now copper cables is not something that you would not have seen. So this is the type of material we sell for both conductors as well as for cables. So wires are made with this by our partners. Again, a lot of innovation has gone into different types of applications here. You talk about the aluminium side as well. Lots of innovation in the different types of alloys we are developing for specifications, because India is now growing very quickly. Renewable power is now coming up, therefore long distance transmission of electricity is also happening. So you want less loss in transmission. So we are working with our partners to create special alloys to take care of that. Okay, just one quick one about this is an example of a BESS, which is battery energy storage system. I'll talk a little bit more about that in another section, but this is something which is going to power renewable as well, because the challenge with renewable is it's not available 24 hours. So you need to store it. So we got some solution for BESS. I'll talk about that in the next section. Yep. So let's quickly move. Thank you guys. We'll be getting back to you. There is a lot of, so when cables come to mind, what do you think about? When you talk about wires, what's the big worry in wires? It needs to be safe, it needs to be efficient, and in case there is a fire, you don't want the house to sort of suffer. So we've got interesting solutions which ensures that you have a special grade alumina which is developed, which ensures that even in case of a fire, the impact is absolutely minimal. Yeah, so this is a unique application developed for that. Sorry, we can't see the demo. We'll come back to you. Okay. Now we talked about power, and now let's come inside the house. Okay. Now this area here, what we want to talk to you about is the multiple applications of our products inside a house. Normally you don't see it, but let's take a look at few of them. Okay. Right from the start is the doors and windows. Again, what is happening in the doors and windows space is, what do people look for? They look for aesthetics, they look for security. We have a lot of hazards in terms of wind, etc., which is happening with high-rise buildings. You want protection there, and you want ease of use. Okay, so this is structures which have been developed by Eternia, where you can get a significant guarantee on not just the movement. So the ease of movement is significant. You can have very large spans, because we have a unique alloy which ensures that even with smaller sections, you can get the desired strength. Okay, so lots of innovation which has happened here. Why don't you step in? I think in the morning, all of you wake up and you are from the media, so you hopefully read newspapers. So we have an application called litho, which are the plates made for printing. This is all in aluminium, uniquely developed product with our partners, a special grade of alloys, which ensures that you get the print early in the morning. This is of course also recycled as well. So very, very sustainable product, at the same time delivers the unique benefits here. Okay, let's head this way quickly on this side. I'm going to do the talking. So you saw the window application here. Now the window application is made with what we call extrusions. So you have a die in which a billet is taken, a special alloy developed billet passes through a press, and you extrude different sections. Now all these sections are designed for specific applications. So this one is for a facade application, this one would be for a window application, this would be for some other applications. So the key here is the tolerances, because if things have to fit with each other, like the window you saw there, it is very important that they are precisely matching. So precision is extremely important. Then of course you have value addition also. Now people want different colors. So we have in-house capability of doing either powder coating or anodizing or whatever else we want to do here. Okay, so this is the whole extrusion segment. There is only a few samples here, but we can do large sections to small sections in extrusions. Inside the house also you have an air conditioner. Now what applications for us? The tubes inside, the copper tubes, the aluminium tubes, the fins, that's where we have innovated with unique applications, which we are putting up a specific plant to address the domestication of the AC manufacturing as well. Fans, of course, all of us are using them. What's unique in fans right now is there is a standard coming for sustainability. So the efficiency power rating is now mandated by government. Now that's possible by our unique design as well as alloy development, which we are doing. Okay, so that's some part of that. Now aluminium, again, just a quick touch on the aesthetics part of it. Normally when you think of aluminium, what color comes to mind? The silver color, the one you saw the billet there. But aluminium is very versatile, so we can make it any type of finish. It can be powder coated, PU coated, anodized, and you can get any shape and color that you want. So it's a very versatile material in terms of aesthetics and can be used in multiple applications. Okay, we of course also make aluminium powder which goes into paint, which ensures Birla Opus is again an ABG product. What it ensures is that the quality of sheen and strength and durability of the paint goes up. So this is material for that. Okay, so multiple applications inside a house which you would normally not associate with us. Okay, so since we are doing a quick run, let's move on to the next section. Now here I would want to talk only about one thing. So we do a lot of applications, including caps. Just wanted to tell you the story that when COVID happened, there was the need for the COVID vaccine, right? and you needed the special caps for that COVID vaccine. The team worked very hard and very fast in developing a unique alloy. Now, this might not look like a particularly technically important product, but it had to be developed at urgency, at speed, developed during the COVID period. And I think the team did a fantastic job working with our partners to ensure that this happened. We were the sole suppliers of the caps for the COVID vaccine in India. Okay. Now that, of course, COVID vaccines is one, but we also have some of these long format caps for wine bottles and other premium applications as well, pharmaceuticals included. The last piece I wanted to talk to you about was this particular product here. Now, pharmaceutical packaging is changing constantly. So this is what we call an alu-alu application, where both sides is aluminium. Now, it's not just aluminium. What you need is special properties so that the life of the medicine inside stays consistent over a period of time. So that's what this product has been developed, uniquely developed by us. It's produced in India. We are supplying to multiple pharmaceutical and packaging companies in India. So lots of applications in foil, as well as caps of different types is what we are working very closely with. Okay, now the most exciting piece here. So this is a new one. Please watch your step here. So what you're walking through is an Eternia window. Again, I would encourage you to check how easy it is to move such a large section. I mentioned earlier that Duranium actually ensures.
We have time for 1:15.
Okay, perfect. So you can actually try it. So use just one finger to see how easy it is to move this. One or two fingers, you will be able to move it. Right, so that's the quality of aggregates that we are using, as well as the fact that you don't need a very heavy section to take care of such a large span. As you can see also, aesthetic wise, it's very, very good. Last but not the least, one of the key challenges in manufacturing is in houses is, I don't know if you've had a contractor at your home that they'll tell you we can do this in 2 weeks. How much time do they normally take? 2 months, right? So we identified that need, and the Eternia team not just manufactures these things, they actually do the installation as well. So they will come to your house, design it with you, you can choose the shade, you can choose the sizes, and it will also be installed by Hindalco Eternia. Yeah, so we're doing that as well. Last but not the least is the kitchen. Yeah, so why is Hindalco getting into kitchens? That's a fair question to ask. What's the challenge in kitchens in India? Okay, I'm not looking at just the women, but the quality of life in India is improving. So every household now wants 3 or 4 things. They of course want safety, they want performance, and they want aesthetics. And last but not the least, they want convenience in their whole operation. So we looked at the need gap in India. A lot of wooden kitchens are made in India, but we also have a lot of problem with pests. We have problems of humidity, and therefore these doors will bulge. They will not stay as when they are new. Last but not the least is the same problem of installation that happens. And people don't get the choice about how to install these things. So the team has worked in collaboration with some of our partners and customer groups to create what you see here today, which is one of the models that we are talking about, is an aluminium based kitchen, which is custom designed for you. But along with that, if you see the panels here and the finish here, we can promise any type of finish which suits the size of the household that you're working at. Again, depending on the size of the house, the kitchen can be customized, and Hindalco will come and do the installation as well. Right? So I would really urge you to take a look at it, open some of these. Everything here is in aluminium. Okay? So the concern usually is it going to sound hollow and like metal? No, it doesn't, because it is insulated with a special type of alloy which promises durability. So we give a significant guarantee for the life of the kitchen as well as the fitments. So if you see some of these fitments here, so the fridge is integrated into this whole entity here. The quality of the drawers, for example, again, extremely good. Again, customizable with our so again, this is one offer which we are going to launch this year. It's under trial right now, but again, the possibilities are you can look at customizing it for your individual space. We will make it in aluminium, which ensures durability of the kitchen as well as performance. And on aesthetics, it's looking fantastic. We can do far better than this as well. So we'll show you a quick video later on in some of the other options we have. So you can take a quick look at the video out there. As you already know, all of you probably know, the auto segment in India is transforming very rapidly. So the first big transformation is on two-wheelers. It has already happened, which is that there's a movement from ICE engines to electric vehicles. But that's not the only thing that is changing. Our customers are becoming more and more demanding. They want range, they want efficiency, they want sustainability, and they want performance. And on top of that, they want world-class features. So they are no longer happy to say, "Acha, give me a bad-looking car as long as it gives mileage." Customers are no longer willing to make those trade-offs. So our OEM partners have invested quite a lot in coming up with models which are designed for India, not just a blind copy of what they're doing across the world. And where we are playing a role is in working with them right from the stage of design in multiple parts. So let me take a few critical parts that we are working on. So any electric vehicle, the heart is the battery pack. Now what you can see there is a battery pack where we develop the frame in partnership with the OEM. Now why is a frame design important? Number one, it has to integrate with the vehicle itself. Number two, if that is not safe and there is a damage which happens, you will have problems, right? So the material has to ensure that there is crash protection properties. Last, precision has to be ensured. You're going to put batteries inside this pack. So you can't tolerate having too much gap in here. So you need insulation, you need to ensure that the BMS, which is the lifeblood of a battery pack, is also really responding to the criticality of what you're talking about here. Now to manufacture it requires absolute precision, right from the stage of designing the alloy, stretching very long length extrusions with minimal tolerances. Then comes precision welding. Again, you cannot just weld it like a normal welding. Most of this is made with robotic welding, so we have invested quite a lot of effort and resources in developing robotic welding, which ensures precision welding, because a little bit more material going in is not great. Too little, and that's also a problem, because then you are risking the battery pack overall. And last, of course, is the machining. As you can see, there is a lot of machining after that which happens. Again, tolerance is very low that are required. So battery packs is something that we are developing with multiple OEMs, both Indian and global OEMs. We are working with them right from the design phase, and then we actually manufacture this for them. We have a dedicated plant in Chakan where we are manufacturing this. We are also, of course, manufacturing side sills which protects the battery pack. So that's a crash element where we are working with others as well. Now you come to the alloy wheels. There is a unique alloy that we have developed which powers all these lightweight alloy wheels in India. What's one thing that every electric car wants to do? It wants to be lighter, because if it is lighter, then you don't need as much battery to deliver the same amount of range. So if you want to protect range, and Indian consumers, as I already said, are looking for range, then you want a lighter vehicle. So we have solutions in terms of lighter wheels, a lighter battery pack, which is made of aluminium and therefore lighter. We have also structural elements which we are working on, both in terms of the body as well as the bonnets, etc. Again, partnering very closely with our customers to say, how can we reduce the total weight of the car? So either you need lesser number of batteries, or you put the same number of batteries and you extend the range. So the whole anxiety around, will my car run out after 200 kilometers? No, a car can run 400, 450 kilometers if it's designed right. And of course, a lot more other features which are coming in as well. So we're getting great traction with both domestic as well as international partners in being able to do that. Okay, so this is the story of the car. Again, multiple components, as I said, bumpers, sheets, etc. as well. I would urge you to scan this for a later view where you'll see what components we are making with our OEM partners. I promised to talk about BESS earlier. Now, this is one of the samples of the battery energy storage system. So this is a stationary application. So this is not going into an EV, but a lot of power storage banks. So imagine you have a large pack inside which you have multiple of these aluminum trays. Inside you're going to have a lot of cells being packed in, bus bars, copper connectors, to ensure that you have a safe, sustainable pack which is mounted one on top of the other to create what is a BESS, which I think going forward is going to be huge demand as the cell capacity in India increases, as the renewable capacity in India increases. Okay. Of course, we work on a lot of other components as well in auto. This is an application of alumina where in spark plugs, so even in the ICE vehicles, it's not that we are only making products for the electric vehicles, but even for ICE vehicles, there are multiple applications which we are talking about. Okay. So again, radiators and fins is another area which we are doing. So you guys saw the PFA, the wheel. This is the format in which the alloy goes to them, and then they cast it in terms of the wheels. So multiple applications here. Now one other interesting product we wanted to show you is the swappable battery. So when it comes to two-wheelers, you're going to see some of the videos later on. Hero Vida came to us and they said they wanted a precision engineered pack for swappable batteries, because again it needs precision, because it has to be charged at home. You cannot have dimensional tolerances, and it needs to ensure that it's safe, it is precise because it has to fit in. You cannot have different sizes here so it doesn't fit in. Yeah, so we have worked with them and designed this. We actually extrude this product, machine it, coat it for them, and that gets integrated back into these packs with them. Again, one of the first ones we are starting with, but more incoming from us, their side. Premium bikes is another story here. Now to make them safer, you want inverted front forks, and we work very closely with OEMs there as well to create these front fork applications as well. So one of the applications, so again we have put a few applications here, but with the auto OEMs there is a constant innovation, a constant journey. When they start conceptualizing a car, they now invite us to design specific components and we move forward with that. Okay, just a few samples of things which we are working on. Okay, and of course there is copper usage in electric cars is also fairly high. So applications both for bus bars as well as wiring and wire harnesses for EV applications, we are making a lot of investment in that area as well. Okay. Now we talked about the structure, we said car, then we said battery pack. Inside the battery pack is the cells themselves. Okay, so cells is going to be a fast growing market in India. Now inside the cell you have both copper foil as well as aluminium foil, which are critical role to play in the lithium ion cells. So we have just invested roughly around 850 crores in a new plant for aluminium foils specifically for the battery segment. This is coming up by the end of this year. So there's products there. We also make the cans inside which the batteries are packed, and of course we are also innovating with the copper foil as well. So multiple applications there also. So right from inside the cell to the absolute pack is what we are working with customers on. Application which is bohemite, which plays a critical role in the separation of the anode and the cathode. So we have again applications which we are delivering there as well. India, that the defense industry is trying to indigenize as well. So there is a lot of effort happening, for example in shipbuilding, where we are developing unique alloys, both plates as well as in extrusions, to support the shipbuilding as well as working with the Coast Guard. So you must have heard about the fast patrol boats which are getting introduced both in India as well as for export. We are working closely with the Coast Guard to develop some of that application as well. The BrahMos missile, we have a facility called HAL, which we'll talk about more in the other section, which is Hindalco Almex specific division for hard alloys, which develops products specific for these defense partners. Again, requires a lot of partnership. We are working for missiles, we are working with HAL for developing unique alloys for them, which in India only we have the cast house which can produce to the quality required for aerospace. Okay, so lots of work happening in this space as India is trying to shift the value chain back to India. I'm going to ask Sachin to talk a little bit about HAL. If you can brief us a little bit more about HAL.
Good afternoon. So HAL basically is Hindalco Almex Aerospace Limited. Is a subsidiary of Hindalco. So this plant is based in Aurangabad and it was formed in 2008. This plant is specialized for hard alloy billets, which are the prime requirement of the aerospace and defense industry. So right now, what we produce is you can imagine cylindrical billets, which is a cylindrical solid billets of aluminium to the length of like 6 meters. So these are the prime raw material used in forging industry, and they make part out of it machine, and which are directly fitted into the launch vehicles as well as satellites. Uh, Apart from this, these material is also going to the extrusions industry, which are used for the structural parts inside the launch vehicle as well as the satellite structural parts. Along with that, we have supplied in the other forms or other shapes, which is the aluminium slabs. That material goes to the in the satellite area. It is done through the rolling industry. So this is the first plant, and it is one of the most, you can say, the premium plant for which we are supporting ISRO since 2008, and it has been one of the prime supplier for ISRO as well as defense.
Mr. Vaishnavi was talking about the Hyperloop India in India. IIT was piloting out the first round. So we are very proud to be partners in that particular journey as well. So again, our effort is not just supplying materials, but right from the design conceptualization stage, how can we partner the innovators in India? That's the role that we believe. Again, the theme that the new brand positioning is going to talk about is about how can we bring the future forward. So would these trains have happened over a period of time? Yes, but how can we contribute by innovating together so that this can happen early in India? So those are the partnerships that we are driving. Now, railways by itself as well, you know, India has the ambition of growing both the network, and the other key important thing is we want to increase the speed of our trains. The maximum speed we do today is roughly around 120 kilometers per hour, but the ambition is to have a 250 kilometer per hour trains as well. Now, how do you do that with the same infrastructure? You could, for example, upgrade the whole track system, or do the reverse, which is lightweight our trucks, lightweight our trains. And that's where we come in. We have, for example, done a railway wagon, which is 20% lighter than a conventional steel wagon. Now, what that allows you to do is to run faster on the track. Of course, it can carry more load as well, but it can use the same infrastructure, but you can increase speed as well. Now, along with that, it also ensures that the fuel efficiency comes down. Railways has a mission of going down to zero emission by 2070. We are partnering with them to redesign a lot of their BOBRN or coal wagons to ensure that they get the futuristic wagons in India. A Coke can or a beer can, if that's what you choose, right? And this is very, very important for making packaging sustainable. In India, we're still on this journey of shifting from plastic to metal. But the critical part about any of these applications is they are highly engineered products. A can might look very simple to you, but just imagine that this has to withstand pressure. It has to be durable. It is going to be transported all over the place and must therefore retain its integrity, right? And at the same time, you want to minimize the use of amount of aluminium that you're using. So it's a very highly engineered product because the thickness and of the film that you're talking about here is very, very low. Second, it's a sheet which needs to be pulled and drawn into a shape like this. So just imagine what needs to happen in an alloy which has to be strong when it is filled, at the same time should have the flexibility of being able to draw as well. Second part, our end customers, let's say people like Coke or whoever else, have stated objectives that they want to use recycled products. So they want this product to be 80% from recycled material. And that's the other challenge. So you have to have great quality. At the same time, you want 80% recycled material, and they want low CO2 products as well, because that's what their customers are looking for. So that's the trifecta that we try to solve along with them. So we are, of course, investing a lot in close looping these products. Now, what do we mean by close looping? So when you have an alloy which is developed specifically for making these cans, it's best that a can becomes a can. We are one of the largest recyclers of can in the world. Our attempt is that you don't mix alloys. You don't take a pressure cooker and then try to make this product out of it. or you don't take a can and then try to make a window out of it. We like to see how we can close loop some things here. Okay, so that's one of the key areas here. We are investing about 50 to 100,000 tons capacity for recycling. We'll be setting up infrastructure not just to process this, but even to recycle it. So how we don't have a great infrastructure for collecting recyclable aluminium. So we are working with multiple solutions which you should hopefully soon see in the market, where we'll incentivize people to recycle, and again focus is on closed looping. It's not just good enough that you remelt aluminium and make it into something else. For sustainability, it is closed looping is far important for us. So investing quite a lot of effort, time, money in developing this capability, even though we are a primary producer. So we produce primary material right from the mines, but we believe we have a role to play in even the recycled ecosystem, because that's what our customers are looking for. Now that's the aluminium story here. We are also investing in recycling, so in electrical waste as well. This is a big challenge, right? How do you identify a lot of this material which is getting used? You have a lot of phones we all use, we dispose them off, we use a lot of iPads, we use a lot of computers, which get now thrown out in 4, 5, 6 years. So where does this go? We don't want this to go to landfills. So we are setting up facilities where we can extract value from these, both the precious metals as well as copper and our metals. So again, a key area of focus for us is how do we ensure sustainability in a world which needs recycling to be the way of life. So we want to move as much as possible to mining from urban centers and recycling, rather than just looking at virgin material. So this is some more effort we are putting in here along with a lot of partners. Extremely new technology. So you can recycle aluminium and copper with just a vat if you want. You just melt it and you start working with it. But the technology we are using is how do you isolate each one of them in the most efficient possible way, and you extract the best results from some of these recycling facilities. So that's another area here which we are working on. So I've taken you through around from mines to multiple industries and how we are trying to change them. The theme in all of them is we want to partner with co-creators, technology providers, educational institutions to create the technology of the future. And we are willing not just to provide the material, but create an end solution which meets the need of the consumer. I think consumers are ready to move. Our customers are ready to move. Sometimes they don't know how to solve this paradox of sustainability comes at a cost. And that's where we believe we have a role to be a catalyst in helping them right from design to create solutions which are both sustainable, deliver performance, are efficient, and meet the needs of the value conscious consumer in India. So look forward to having you in the session as well. That's the theme, and that's the reason we want to reposition ourselves, so that our customers start demanding more from us. Not just call us up and say, hey, you know what, can you send us 2,000, 4,000 tons of aluminium or copper? We are great at doing that, but we want our customers to demand more from us. And when they have a solution they want to develop, we want them to come to us, and so that we can co-create solutions of the future.